Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sree Iyer. 𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏 joins us again after a brief hiatus. Let's talk to him about some of the events of the day. 𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏, Namaskaram and welcome to PGurus channel. How are you, sir?
Sir, Namaskaram. I'm doing well, and how are you? It's been quite some
well,
time
sir.
that we interacted.
Yes, indeed. You have quite become the Ulagam Sutrum Valiban.
Yes, sir.
Young man.
Only difference is I'm not a Valiban. But Valiban at heart, yes.
Sir, MGR was a lot older than you when he acted in that movie, sir.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
So, viewers, we have a lot of interesting stuff. When all else fails, he is going back to the Red Book and starting to hate this Sengol again. In fact, the hatred of Congress party to this is so much that they are in denial of this article that appeared April 25th, 1947. I paid big bucks to get this thing today, sir. Page 28 talks in detail about the Sengol event, how the Sengol was given by Mountbatten to Jawaharlal Nehru. And not only is Mr. Rahul Gandhi's party saying that this never happened, there is a Naxal rag very close to where you live. This Naxal rag has been there from beyond before independence. Let's not give a name and give publicity to them. They also go the same line. I mean, sometimes, people seem to have left their brains at home when they come to work. Anyway, long story short, viewers, we have a story on this. We're going to cover in great detail what article appeared in the Time magazine right after independence. And I'm going to capture with you everything that happened, paragraph by paragraph. And I have the original. Nobody can tell me this never happened and, all that BS. So this is a aside now, but this is tying in exactly with what is he talking about now. Rahul Gandhi goes back to Constitution and Manu Smriti. First, he needs to understand how many Manus are there. I don't think he knows that even. Sir, over to you. Tell me what is his latest gimmick.
Yeah. So, Rahul Gandhi and the ecosystem. So, I think we have not spoken after the Haryana election result in detail, but I'm sure Sri Kumar covered it, and then and some others would have covered it in PGurus. But the quick question is, Rahul Gandhi and the ecosystem immediately after the Haryana election, they were actually taken aback. They believed that, it's going to be a 2/3 majority. In fact, the opinion poll said that, Congress is winning hands down. BJP probably will get about 30 odd seats, blah, blah, blah. And at 8:30 in the morning on the election day, in fact, I landed on that day in India, and then I was just keenly watching on the election result day. Sorry, not the election day, election result day. And beating the jet lag, I was watching it because I wanted to really know what's happening. 8:30 and 8:45, 9, it was 1070, 1073, 10 for BJP, 70 odd for Congress. So all the TV channels were showing what they projected a couple of days before on the, the exit poll results. They were projecting the same thing. And the first amount of result will get published in Election Commission, side only by 9:30 a.m. In fact, subsequently, the election commissioner chief election commissioner explained that when he announced the Maharashtra, Jharkhand elections. But, all of a sudden, by about 9:30, 10:30, table started changing, and then, BJP was winning. And Jairam Ramesh started saying that, can't accept this result. This is against the will of the people. And, everybody was just dumbstruck, including the deep state. Probably deep state had the biggest ever shock in their life, that they thought that, imagine what the Haryana has done to the nation. What Haryana has done to Delhi and to the nation was phenomenal. In fact, only when people start looking at it, one would understand that. The reason why I say it's phenomenal is, had Congress won Haryana, by now, we would be seeing a repeat of Bangladesh in India. Trust me, sir, it's a conspiracy theory, but that's what we would have seen. Because immediately after Congress taking power and an oath, the tractors would have started rolling to the Delhi border, and then for the so-called farmer agitation would have started, and by now we would see the restlessness in the capital and across India. It would have been used as a big ploy to repeat of Bangladesh, at least to an attempt to repeat of Bangladesh in India. And thanks to Haryana people that they saved the nation from this menace. I'm very serious and responsible when I make this comment, right? So when Maharashtra and Jharkhand elections are announced, naturally, Congress is not a big force in Jharkhand. It is Congress in an ally with Jharkhand Mukti Morcha is definitely a formidable force. But BJP on its own had won several elections in Jharkhand. Okay. And so today, when we talk about Maharashtra, it's Mahavikas Aghadi will have its own, confusions in the next 2 weeks or so before the run-up to the election. And BJP and NDA allies are standing together. While I still have skeptical about trusting Ajit Pawar where he would land post the election, if there is a reason to flip side to be part of a government, if he doesn't get his pound of flesh in NDA, he wouldn't even think twice, or even not even take a couple of seconds to jump ship and then go and join with his father and the nationalist NCP. Original merged both the parties, both the factions, and then go and form the government. So end of the day, I do not trust Ajit Pawar, but NDA at this point in time is intact. And in Maharashtra, already between Congress and Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray is having some amount of rift, because Congress cannot accept Uddhav Thackeray as a chief ministerial candidate at this point in time. That's why they are not declaring who is the chief ministerial candidate. At the same time, Sharad Pawar will weigh in his chances. Even Sharad Pawar on his own wouldn't actually stick to Mahavikas Aghadi if he is going to get a better deal on the other side of the NDA. So both the Sharad Pawar faction is not trustworthy. They will flip to any side wherever they get the better deal. That's how Maharashtra elections I look at it. But having said that, Rahul Gandhi picks up his 2024 run-up to Lok Sabha election gimmick, saying that if Narendra Modi forms the government the third time, he would change the constitution. And he believes that that's what has got him the 99 seats. He believes that that's what brought BJP from 300 plus to 240. Maybe to some extent his belief may be right, but in my opinion, what actually happened is lack of RSS support. That's what brought BJP to 240. Otherwise, they would have formed their own majority. And one could see that in Haryana. Haryana, for 20-25 days, 6,000 villages RSS camped there. RSS Karyakartas camped there and then conducted roadside meetings and propaganda. One cannot take out the hard efforts of RSS from BJP. I think BJP top leadership, including Modi, Amit Shah, and Nadda, by now would have realized the powers of RSS. In fact, Nadda before 2024 said, we don't need RSS to win. I think, Nadda would have learned his lesson. That's why when, before Haryana election, when they had this, conclave in Kerala, I think it was in Kerala or, I think it was in Palakkad. And when they had this conclave and then, they ironed out their differences, Nadda represented BJP in that conclave and participated in that. And then they ironed out their differences and then vowed to work together. And that showed the result in Haryana. And I'm sure Jharkhand would be another Chhattisgarh. In fact, Haryana itself was another Chhattisgarh. In fact, if you remember, Sree Iyer ji, when we
Yes,
had
yes.
about 6 months before Chhattisgarh election, I was talking in your show that Chhattisgarh BJP would win. And Jharkhand, I think this point in time, BJP is having a very strong position. And that's where Rahul Gandhi starts his run. He says, on one hand, it is constitution, whereas opposition holds Manu Smriti in their hand. In fact, only in Tamil Nadu, the Manu Smriti is being used for various things without even knowing what are the verses in Manu Smriti. Some perverted Caldwell group has translated this into whatever the perversion that they have. And then, they use that to say that, okay, hey, Manu Smriti is doing that, Manu Smriti says this, Manu Smriti says that, and then all those bullshit, right? And Rahul Gandhi, truthfully belonging to the Dravidian alignment, is talking about Manu Smriti in Jharkhand. And he says that Draupadi Murmu, the president, was not allowed to inaugurate the parliament because she is from the tribe, scheduled tribe community. And she was not invited for Ram Mandir Pran Pratishthan because she is a tribal person. But subsequently, she went and performed the Aarti in Ram Mandir temple. Forget about whether she did it. And, this is one of the Dravidian ecosystems. Caldwell groups claim that, can anybody go into the sanctum sanctorium in Ayodhya? The President Draupadi Murmu went and performed the Aarti to the deity. So, all those that, he's talking about, he's holding the red book constitution in his hand. I seriously doubt whether Rahul Gandhi even knows how many pages are there in that particular book, because that is the original Bare Act of Constitution. And then, he doesn't even know how many provisions exist, how many chapters exist, but he just keeps talking about it. And what is, I think this is the 8th or 9th, actually Manu is different from Manu Smriti. Okay, he doesn't even know that, anybody who is a minister was called a Manu in the olden region. I think there are 8 or 9 Manus Manu Smritis existed, in ancient days. And today, constitution is upheld. So it is actually, if you look at it, Sree Iyerji, it resonates exactly what happened in India Lok Sabha election and what happened in Bangladesh election, what is happening in the US election. The deep state funded or deep state supported parties are claiming that constitution will be thrown out, right? Kamala Harris is talking about Trump camp that, they'll throw out the constitution, create a new constitution there. And in India, Congress and the India Alliance said that. In Bangladesh, they use the same pattern. And now Rahul Gandhi picked up the same thing, thinking that, if he talks about the constitution will be thrown out by BJP if they come to power in Jharkhand. Rahul Gandhi thinks that he will win that because, it's a template. Previously, I don't know whether, we used to have a sentiment, right? Especially in film industry, if a ghost movie is successful, then next to say 8 or 10 ghost movies would come in a series. If a comedy movie is successful, then it would happen. If a sports related movie is successful, because they all form the sentiment that that's a formula of the day. So Rahul Gandhi's or his advisors think that if he takes a constitution in his hand and then that is what is the winning formula. I'm sorry, Rahul Gandhi, that this is, and unnecessarily bringing up Manu Smriti here. And because in the north, unlike Tamil Nadu, people do understand Sanskrit, people do understand what is in Manu, and people do understand what is there in the constitution too. Whereas here, people can be misled by the Caldwell group that the perverted translation, whatever they have done. Unfortunately, nobody has challenged them. That's the only thing here. But today, when BJP released a first list of candidates in Maharashtra, if you look at it, it will show what is the confidence level that they have. For example, in 2024, BJP won 60 out of the 99. They led the 60 out of 99 seats that were announced today. In 2019 state election, BJP won 85 seats out of this 99, and they have retained that 80 candidates have been retained in this. Only of about 5 candidates that they won have been replaced here. So I think the Mahavikas Aghadi in Maharashtra and Jharkhand, the Congress alliance in Jharkhand, is at the back foot at this point in time. I'm still going to hold that Maharashtra is a very tough state for BJP. But for a moment, if we actually look fast forward and then look, if Maharashtra Congress and Mahavikas Aghadi loses, then they lost the biggest cash baron, because then only Telangana and Karnataka will continue to fund the coffers of Congress. Telangana, Revant Reddy is not going to be highly helpful, whereas you can't beat the dead horse more and more and more. DK Shivakumar too has a limitation, and that too, he was promised that he will be changed as a chief minister after the Lok Sabha election, which is not happening in Karnataka. So I don't see any reason why DK Shivakumar would open up his treasury to fund Congress anymore beyond a point. So Maharashtra is a key for Congress to get their funding. They need that particular cash cow. And that is why Rahul Gandhi and co are very, very desperate for Maharashtra. Jharkhand, Haryana would have been a breathing space for them, because if they won the Haryana election, then Congress would have had a much better poll plank for Maharashtra and Jharkhand, especially for Maharashtra. Whereas at this point in time, for them, Jharkhand is only another state to tick. That too, if they win for some reason, it is going to be Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, Soren's party is going to be the chief ministerial candidate there, and then Congress maybe a small party clinging on to power, like National Conference. They wanted to be part of the government. Congress demanded 4 cabinet berths, whereas Omar Abdullah gave them only 1 junior minister. Then Congress said that we will sit outside and then support. They had no other choice, because otherwise, National Conference had on their own, though they are lack of majority, but the independent support will take them to the majority. So Congress 6 MLAs didn't make a huge difference, but still Congress expected about 3 or 4 ministerial berth in 9-member cabinet, because there is a cap, if I'm not wrong, about 10% of the strength of the assembly alone can be the cabinet. So Congress is desperate. Yes, sir. You are smiling.
This cap came about after the Bhajan Mandal cabinet that Bhajan Lal had in Haryana. Like there were 67 ministers in the cabinet.
That's right.
They used to call it Bhajan Mandal.
Bhajan Mandal, yeah. So,
please go ahead.
So I think all in all, Rahul Gandhi is in desperate situation, because if he loses Maharashtra, which is 50-50, they are still, it is still a very tight fight for BJP. I'm not going to call out saying that BJP is winning or Mahavikas Aghadi is winning, NDA is winning or Mahavikas Aghadi is winning. But at this point in time, it is going to be a very difficult election for both the parties, both the combined. And at this point in time, Congress is much more desperate to win the election, because Congress thought that, the 99 that they got with the Haryana in their bag and then Maharashtra in the bag, then, they can actually, they thought that they can bring in a midterm election and then, they can create a ruckus, and then Modi government can be they can bring in a no confidence motion and create a ruckus in the parliament. At this point in time, with the Maharashtra election also won by NDA, then 2 things would happen. Number 1, Congress will be decimated, and Congress will not have any respect from the alliance partners, not that they already have a huge one. The second thing is, it will actually strengthen BJP in the Rajya Sabha, because with Haryana and Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Odisha, coming to strengthen Rajya Sabha. I think by about 2025, BJP will have on their own the majority in Rajya Sabha. So that will give a lot more breathing space for BJP to bring in some of the legislations and other things that they reforms that they want to do, and then that will give a better image to Modi, in the subsequent years to come. I'll pause here, sir, and this is why Rahul Gandhi is now picking up Constitution versus Manu Smriti. I think he is actually beating the dead horse there again. Had he talked about local issues, had he talked about, because Karnataka and Telangana, Congress did bring about local issues to the foray. And here, Rahul is saying that neither media nor judiciary can stop him from doing the caste census. Okay, come on, you did do a caste census in Karnataka. Now your government is there in Karnataka. Why don't you publish that? Why are you keeping quiet? If you're so serious about caste census, if you're so serious about doing something to the caste census, why don't you just publish what you did in when Siddaramaiah government was there before the previous regime? Why don't you publish that data and then say, here is my caste census details from Karnataka? So he is just thinking that people are really fools. He is saying that judiciary cannot stop him from changing the reservation cap from 49.5% under Mandal Commission, and then he is going to make it based on the caste census and then proportional representation, etc. I think that is what is going to lose him the election in Maharashtra, because Maharashtra, once again, see what he is doing is while talking about reservation, he is also talking about people who do not have a reservation will counter polarize. I think that's what he is losing, and then his advisors are missing that point. Nevertheless, let Rahul Gandhi be led by those intellectuals like Jairam Ramesh and others. Constitution versus Manu Smriti is a very, very, very pathetic argument that he picked up in Jharkhand. I think that's where he is going to find it very, very difficult to convince the voters there. I'll pause here, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. And viewers, this Manu thing, right? Every day we sit down for any sankalpa in any temple, anywhere. The first thing they'll refer to is the place where they are performing the puja. And in that, this set is called Vaivaswata Manvantare. Yeah. Vaivaswan is another name for Surya. And Manu was Surya's son. And Manu's son was Ikshvaku. And it is the Ikshvaku lineage of which Rama belongs. There is a song by Bhadrachala Ramdas, Ikshvakula Tilaka Raghu, and then Rama and all that stuff, right? So you need to know a little bit more. If you call yourself a Dattatreya, call Brahmin or something like that.
Call Brahmin, Janudari Brahmin.
Janudari Brahmin. I mean, come on now. How many pujas have you sat and how many times have you listened to what is research? This comes at the very beginning. You can't say that, I lost my concentration. Nothing. It is the beginning. It is the very beginning. Jambu Dvipe Bharatavarshe Bharata Kande. I mean, come on now. If you don't even know so much, you are a Sanatani hater. You are literally a Sanatani hater. All this BS about being a Dattatreya Kohl Brahmin, nobody can prove it. In fact, I proved the contrary in a program, sir. I proved the contrary in a program, that he is anything but that. So don't go into territories you don't know. I mean, your pretty face has got you some votes here and there, and that's about it. There are idiots who will still vote for you. I'm sorry. This is not the way the moment he started going out of India and started dissing India, I mean, he lost all my respect. This is not what you do. I mean, you fancy yourself to be a prime minister, which he will not become. That's a different matter for a different day. This is just nonsense. Now, I don't know why the sycophants are still hanging around. He is a spent bullet, is a lost cause, and I don't know why the Congress party is still hanging around him. When the party still has some structure, and we want an opposition. It's not like we want to wipe out Congress. People want some responsible opposition, and they are the only ones right now. Anyway, so hopefully some wisdom will prevail, and I don't know when. It's now 10 years already, and another 4 years before.
Actually, Pawan Khera, one of the spokesperson, interestingly, forget about this, not on this topic, he said, Government of India and Ministry of External Affairs should take leader of opposition into confidence and then say that Rahul Gandhi should be briefed on this Canada controversy and affairs, right? I really actually tweeted about it, saying that so that Rahul Gandhi can go and reveal actually what is happening in the government, right, in the inner circles of the government. So no stupid government would go and do that to and reveal everything to Rahul Gandhi, saying that what is happening, because he will immediately fly to the US or UK or some other foreign nation and then go and express whatever he learned from such briefing, and he is going to go and express that in that foreign land. He will not dare to talk about it in India, but he will definitely go abroad and then talk about it. I think that's what his caliber.
Thank you, sir. And now let's move on to the second topic, Doordarshan event in Tamil Nadu, where something happened, and Sree Iyer App it's got nothing to do with the governor of Tamil Nadu, yet the DMK finds it convenient because they have to answer otherwise for their shoddy work in managing the floods that have come in post the rain in Chennai. This is just the first rain. Deepavali usually rains out. In Chennai, Deepavali guarantee rain.
Yeah.
Over to you, sir.
So, for those who probably don't know some Tamil movie comedy, and those who know, there is one movie where 𝗣𝗚𝘂𝘆, his grandfather, 𝗣𝗚𝘂𝘆 goes to the city, and then his grandfather, who is a village barber, gives him a small suitcase or small box, and then says, when you are driven to a corner, when there is no other go for you to survive, or when you are driven to a corner, open this, and then it will actually help you. It will save you. Okay, so I'm reminded of that when this incident all of a sudden happened. So last week there was a red alert issued by meteorological department in Chennai and other Kanjipuram, Tiruvallur, Chennai belt, Chengalpet belt, that because of the deep depression, we are going to face a huge deluge. And of course, government of Tamil Nadu swung into action, created a lot of hype using the weather bloggers, saying that, oh my God, it's going to rain cats and dogs, 35-40 centimeter rain, etc., etc. And, we saw the situation. People took their cars and then parked in bridges. All the flyovers and bridges were occupied. And then when police were threatening them to that they will fine them, people were ready to pay 1,000 rupees fine for each day, because it is you can fine them for only one day, and then subsequent day only another 1,000. Even 3 or 4 days or 5 days, 5,000 was cheaper than losing their entire car and spending lakh of rupees, because the insurance probably will not cover 100%. So that's the situation. And of course, the rain didn't happen. It didn't rain that heavily. Still, there was huge amount of waterlogging in many places. There are a lot of places, stormwater drain worked, and then, water drained, after a few hours of the rain stopped. But several places there were water drainage. Water was still stagnating. Even now, it is stagnating in many places. So the criticism, because people started creating a meme saying that, in the month of September, we saw Formula 4 race, and then month of October, we saw the air show, and the month of month of August, September, and August, we saw car race. September, we saw air show, and then now October, we are going to see a boat race. And that's a sort of memes and the criticism that started coming in Chennai. And, there are a lot of mismanagement, governance mismanagement, that the, people anger is coming out. So the last resort for Tamil Nadu, especially the DMK government, always had been the Tamil pride and anti-Hindi, right? That's always been anytime you have a problem, pick up this issue, talk about something. In fact, I was wondering when this air show happened, I even tweeted saying, by now, one of the MPs would be flying, going to a airport, and then security will start talk to them in Hindi, and then, they'll start create a ruckus out of it. It's a usual formula. But thanks to DD and thanks to the governor program, they gave that front for them, right? So what really happened in the DD event is every year it happens at this point in time a Hindi Divas. This Hindi Divas is under the aegis of Ministry of Home, which is under Amit Shah. And when Chidambaram was there as a home minister, he did, preside over this Hindi Divas. This is actually mandated by constitutional provision, Article 351. Article 351 mandates the central government. It's not even a directive principle to the state, but it is a mandates the central government to actually promote Hindi and then make that as a national language. That's a problem. At this point in time, it is still an official language, and we'll talk about that Official Language Act also. But at this point in time, it is still one of the official language, and it is central government's duty to make Hindi as a national language and then promote the Hindi as a language. I think that is a mandate. So you can't deny that, the constitution, there's a constitutional power and duty that is given to the Home Ministry, and it doesn't report. This Official Language Committee of the Parliament doesn't report into the Parliament. It directly sends a recommendation to the President. That is the importance. I want the viewers to understand that, especially people who are non-Hindi speaking state, to understand. Imagine central government for 15 years, starting 1999 to 2014, was at the mercy of DMK. I wouldn't say that, they were part of the government. I would say they were at the mercy of the DMK. And their language affiliation should have come in that point in time to quash Article 351. They could not have. They didn't do it. They didn't even raise a hue and cry about it. Forget about putting that agenda into, and then it was rejected by the rest of the Hindi Bimaru state or the Hindi speaking states. But I'm talking about they didn't even raise a fig about it. And when P. Chidambaram, a Tamilian who was a home minister, he did speak in Hindi. Now he is speaking in the second, another, voice. That's a different story. But that time, he was also presiding over the Hindi Divas, right? So that's the politics that is played. And let's come to this crux of this issue. In the DD News channel, there was a Hindi Divas program was there, and then Governor R.N. Ravi participated. So normally any government function, there is a national anthem, there is a Tamil Thai Vazhtu, which is hailing the Tamil language, Tamil mother Tamil language as a mother. There is a actually that original poem itself was modified by Karunanidhi when this was introduced in 60s as a Tamil Thai Vazhtu. So instead of having a recital of religious songs, they just made this as a government function. This will be the first song that would be recited, and the national anthem followed by Tamil Thai Vazhtu. So there it says that 𝗤𝗽𝗼 𝗔𝗚𝗏, which is hailing the Dravidian land, because Kalyan Sundaram Pillai, who is the original poet, wrote this. He actually is born in Kerala, not even a Tamilian. He was born in Kerala, but those days the Madras Presidency, all the South India and portion of Mumbai, today's Maharashtra, were part of the Madras Presidency. So it was a one single state. So it is called the Dravidian land. Even if you look at our national anthem, there is a Dravidian land. When you talk about all the land masses, the Dravidian land representation also comes in. So it is a land and not a race. Whereas, brilliantly, E.V. Ramasamy Nayakar, who formed this Dravidian movement, which is the original movement from where DMK got spun off, he did that, called this as a Dravidian movement and not a Tamil movement, because he is a Telugu-speaking Kannadiga. If he was supposed to be driving this, and there is a Nair who is a Malayali, So if they are the one who is going to be forming a movement in Tamil Nadu, and then if they called it as a Tamil movement, Tamil Nadu movement or Tamilians movement, then people would say that what role do you have to play in this? So they call this as a Dravidian movement. Their only idea was to bash the Brahmins and then Hindu belief system. That's the only idea, but they formed this as a Dravidian movement. From there only DMK was born, ADMK was born. So they said that Andhra, Karnataka, that is full erstwhile Andhra. Today Andhra, Telangana, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, including Pondicherry, is a Dravidian landmass. In fact, E.V. Ramaswamy Naicker wrote to Muhammad Ali Jinnah. There is a historic letter that is available. One can search for it, saying that when Pakistan division of India was being talked about in the religious perspective, he wanted support from Muhammad Ali Jinnah to create Dravidian land as a separate nation, not part of India. I think that is the separatist secessionist mindset that. Thanks. Thanks for putting this up. So that is a mindset of this Dravidian movement. So what they did is when this song was recited in the program, that Dravidanal Tirunadam, that entire line was missed by the people who sung this. Immediately DMK picked it up, saying that R.N. Ravi is again. Actually, it is a disgrace for a constitutional position like a CM writing a derogatory statement about another constitutional provision. It's very, very disgraceful. In fact, governor has never ever reacted to this in the past, and then this time governor had to react to that because of a very disgraceful tweet that Mr. Stalin tweeted about this particular program. So they picked up this as an issue and then trying to divert. They are also using this as a future diversion, because Tamil Nadu government, TASMAC, is setting up 1,100. I believe that's 1,100 or at least several hundreds of additional temporary shops to sell the liquor in the state during the Diwali season. Because Diwali season, there is a target given to the TASMAC employees to achieve, and then each time the target is overachieved also. So I think this time they will have a 600-700 crores for the Diwali occasion target, for which they are setting up temporary shops when they can do this, but they don't want to do anything about the rain situation, etc. So they want to do this diversionary tactics. There are only two issues that they will use. One is the Tamil pride versus Hindi language. Excuse me. The second is NEET. So NEET is the easiest one, and then if there is anybody who's not got a MBBS seat because of NEET, excuse me, sir.
Sir, have a sip of water, sir. Please have a sip of water. No problem. Yeah. Viewers, yesterday I was at a Alameda County Fairgrounds, and I had promised all of you that I was going to be there. It was very, very nice to see many of you come up to me and say hello and have pictures taken and just talk to me, give me some pointers on how I could do even better. So I'm really, really thankful that many of you actually not only listened to what I said, but this is a fair amount of drive. For Bay Area is 400 miles. If you stretch it out as a line, it's a big, big line, 600 kilometers. So people came, drove, and then came up to me and talked to me. It was a wonderful situation. It's a wonderful feeling to have all the people come and talk to me.
Is this the Bharatiya drama or something happened?
No, it was Ram Leela. They had the actual replica of about 12-foot replica of the actual Ram Mandir, and then there was Ram Leela. There were fireworks, then there was Ravan Dahan.
Wow.
Basically, did the entire thing that happens in Ram Leela grounds in, for example, in New Delhi, and crowds were like, oh my God. Thousands and thousands and thousands. It was just mind-blowing. It's a huge area, and there was enough parking, and it was a wonderful event. This is the first time I'm going. I've heard about this. This is the first time I'm going, and it felt very good. I'm hoping to be back again next year, maybe with a little bit more fanfare, a little bit more posters and cutouts and things like that. I just had a table, and I was selling these marigold brooches, and I was also pushing for the the Sengol. Of course, you have the Sengol. Now we are making it available in India also. So I was just doing that, but thank you all for coming and giving me and cheering me with all the words of encouragement. Thank you very much, sir. Hopefully now we can continue.
Sure, yeah. So this controversy has been picked up, and then they are just beating the all the media immediately picked it up. It happened in the morning, and then by about evening, the entire media buzz and then debates, everything is about it. I think for next 1 week, they are going to debate about it. In fact, Governor's office immediately said that, they have nothing to do with that because he was only a participant and the chief guest. And the DD apologized. DD apologized for this miss. Still, they are going ranting about it. And now Madurai MP is talking about it is illegal to do a Hindi Divas, right? He just goes one step further, and then he gave in fact, I tweeted about it just before the show, if Sachin can pull this out. He talked about, it is illegal as per official, Languages Act. And if he was referring to the region A, B, C, because there is a region A, B, C in the official Languages Act, right? Region A, where Hindi is an official language. And then in region B, it is a certain territory, etc., where Hindi and English could be there. Region C, English is the official language. Tamil Nadu is not exempted. Tamil Nadu can use English as the official language. Hindi is not mandated. That's what Section 3 of Official Languages Act says. And he says that it is illegal. And governor participated in an illegal function. I think this is the level of defaming that the Dravidian ecosystem is doing. And I'm sure probably they also today Dinamalar posted a news saying governor may be changed during maybe in the reshuffling is happening, 5 different state governor change would be happening, and then R.N. Ravi could be changed, and then V.K. Singh could become the governor of Tamil Nadu. Maybe DMK government got a hang of it, and then they start posting these so that saying that it's a victory for Dravidian movement. It's a victory for the DMK that they removed the governor, as if they removed the entire governor as a position from the constitution itself. Okay, I think that's a level of diversion. Because I was just wondering that every time there is a issue that comes up against the government, they use language, or they use NEET, or they use some other thing that happens in the state, which they use it as a diversionary tactics, and then media jumps into it, takes it, carries forward, and then beat the hell out of it for a week. The third is about ADMK, split in ADMK. The moment there is something that none of these issues are available, they'll take a split in ADMK. Is it Edappadi versus Velumani? There is an issue, and then they just talk about it, and then because they just blow it out of proportion, and then they spend another week in the media. So the media is still protecting the government. I think that is where the media, mainstream media, is becoming more or less like a government-run entity than a public media. Very few media persons talk the facts, but otherwise they want to manage the perceptions. In fact, even during this Chennai rain fiasco, when it happened, Sree Iyer ji, not much of preventive actions were taken. They started creating a perception. They started creating a perception in such a way that what are all the criticism they got in the previous rain situation, they started, publishing messages in such a way through the media that those criticisms are already addressed. So they actually want to do the perception management. In fact, the mayor of the city said that 97% of the work is already done. In fact, they already have a confusion. From 2021 onwards, the percentage keeps changing. So if 97% of the work is already done, why the hell the people have to take their vehicles and then go and park it on the flyovers to safeguard? They just park it and then walk back about 5 kilometers to their home, 3 kilometers to their home, because people do not trust. Thankfully, the rains were not so heavy, but the monsoon has just started. And the days are still not far that, when the real situation of Chennai floods are going to come about. And I think people have to learn a lesson. I'll pause here, sir, and then, we'll take questions if time permits.
Yes, sir. We'll take a few questions. We are running a little bit late, but that's okay. We'll try and cover as many questions as possible. Questions, please. Magnet Ranga wants to know, Namaskaram. The man is known as for his faux pas. Wonder why nobody seems to be advising him, or are they? No, they are advising him.
They are advising. Who you're talking about? Rahul Gandhi or Stalin?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Both actually both fit into this. No, both fit into this. Definition and description. I think they are advising him. I think the advisors all either he doesn't listen to. See, there are only three scenarios. Either he doesn't listen to any of the advisors, and then he has his own mind, or his advisors are not giving him the right advice. And both may be happening, in my opinion.
Sir, next time maybe we both should wear t-shirts, sir.
Yeah.
Why? Why not?
Why not? Why not wear a t-shirt? Yes.
Rather than being age appropriate. Vijay Kumar Srivastava wants to know, do you think Haryana results had shocked the tools master in and out of India? Namaskar, sir.
Of course, it was a huge setback. I could see that in many of my friends and acquaintances, and across the world there are several political observers whom I speak to. In fact, I since I was not in the country, I was not even following up on what is happening in Haryana. Very limited, data points that I had. So that's why I didn't even, when we talked about in between also, Sree Iyer didn't talk about Haryana election because I didn't have much of input. But general feeling was that, it was Congress win. It was for Congress to lose. And actually, the turnaround was, maybe very few would have, in BJP themselves would have believed that it would turn. I think only Pradeep Bhandari was the only person who was talking he was a national spokesperson. He was the only person who was talking with the data, saying that this is going to be a turnaround event in national media. But other than that, nobody else was talking very high about it. But it is a huge shock for the tools masters and the deep state. In fact, to the extent, just to add to that, to the extent the agriculture agitators, the lead, I forgot his name, he said, we created a plank for Congress in Haryana and then Congress failed to use it. I think that was a statement he made. Yes, sir. Next question, please. Rohit Akshay wants to know, with Karnataka High Court staying on the temple takeover, do you see the fight for Hindu rights taking, turning a corner? Yeah, yes, it is. I think Karnataka, still that the Hindu mindset is still high on the run. I think especially Andhra now with Pawan Kalyan's influence, and in Karnataka, because of some of the minority appeasement policies of Siddaramaiah still happening, I think there is a probably turning the corner is still happening. Yes, that's what I believe. Next one, please. Thank you, Subbayaji. Sir, Rahul will not succeed in politics whatsoever because they ill-treated PV Narsimha Rao ji, a learned person, half-churned dead body was torn by dogs. I am the witness. My house is near PV Ghat. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's a big news. But I tell you, Rahul will not. Half burnt dead body. Yeah. Rahul Gandhi will not succeed in politics not only because of this, but I think it is because of that high-handed mindset, of the first family. The family still feels that they are the entitlement feeling of the first family, and the rest of the leaders are not able to form. Whatever one may say about ADMK, Edappadi established himself as a leader of the party. DMK will not be able to do it. All the family-run parties will not be able to do it at any point in time, right? So ADMK was not a family-run party. It may get converted into it in future, I don't know. But, all the family-run parties cannot survive without the family person. So if not Rahul, it is going to be Priyanka Vadra or Priyanka Vadra's skins. That's what, kids would become the lead. I think, they will keep trying with that.
Next one, please. Raghavendran wants to know, we need Rahul Gandhi as the opposition for at least 15 years for BJP to comfortably take Indian economy to 15 plus trillion. After that, we RSS should create a credible opposition to BJP. Your thoughts?
Sir, the last statement, already RSS was in a mindset last year. They wanted to create a credible opposition for BJP, and then they wanted to put BJP in a position. That is why, they landed in 240. It was a bit of a misadventure to have happened in 2024. Thankfully, at least the differences are sorted out today. Yes, you need Rahul Gandhi in the opposition. We need a very strong opposition also, Raghavendran, because as a nationalist, I strongly feel you cannot create a Indira Gandhi like situation where she never had an opposition, or her opposition was very, very small. I don't want BJP to be in that league anywhere. BJP should definitely, with the nationalistic mindset and the right mindset, be in the government, but they need a very strong nationwide opposition. Today, they do have an opposition in pockets in West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Tamil Nadu, etc., from the regional parties. But you need a nationwide opposition, and two-party nation, if it gets created to that, I think nothing like it. I think the khichdi of state parties or regional parties definitely though it's democratically right, it undermines the power of the parliament.
Next question, please. Make this the last question. 𝗣𝗚𝘂𝘆 wants to say that Manu Smriti is for Krutayuga, Yagnavalka Smriti is for Tretayuga, Goutama Smriti is for Dwaparayug, and Parasara Smriti is for Kaliyuga.
Yes, sir. Whatever it is, today we follow constitution. All these Manu Smriti and Smritis are only a guiding factor for our dharma, but for law, we abide by constitution. So whatever may be the situation, Rahul Gandhi picking it up, constitution versus Manu Smriti, is a very, very bad optics in my opinion.
Thank you so much, sir. And viewers, with that, we bring to a close today's program. We'll be back again in about half an hour's time with Sree Kannan as we take a deeper look into what is happening in Maharashtra as well as in Jharkhand. As always, Sree Kumar, Sree Ramji is sort of like, you all have a very nice club. Three Srees, if I call them. Sree Kumar, Sree Ram, and Sree Ram Seshadri. And one with an I and the other one with double E. Yeah. That's the difference. That's and right. Wonderful to have all of your thoughts here. And viewers, we'll be back again in half an hour. Thank you once again, sir. So we'll see you very soon on Tamil also. Namaskaram.
Sure. Namaskaram.